This one is called The Art of Origami. And you may remember from yesterday that a procedural text is going to teach us how to do something. Sometimes these are called how-to texts. And you'll see these a lot when you're trying to make something or put something together, like the directions to put together furniture. That will come with a procedural text that'll help you to understand each step and how to put it together. So today, that's going to be origami. That's what we're going to be learning how to do. So I would like for you to open up to page 6 in your close reader. We are still looking for key details to underline, and since it's a procedural text, we're also looking for the outlined steps as well. So let's go ahead and listen to this first part. You will get a chance to make your own origami when we finish, but for now I want to focus on the reading piece.
Short read 1. Remember to annotate as you read.
The Art of Origami. For thousands of years, people have been changing the size and shape of paper by folding it. Origami, the art of paper folding, began in China and then spread to Japan, where it became popular. In fact, the word origami comes from the Japanese words ori, which means folding, and kami, which means paper. Today, you can try your hand at this ancient craft by folding a square of paper to create a dog's face. The directions are easy to follow, so let's get started. Step 1. Begin with a square piece of white or colored paper. A paper that is 8 inches square works well. Step 2. Fold the paper in half from top corner to bottom corner. Now you have a triangle. Step 3. Fold the triangle in half again by folding the left point to the right point.
Step 1. Step 2. Step 3.
All right, before we move on to the next part, I do want to do some annotating here. I want to look at how we can do this ourselves, because that's what the goal is, right? Is to follow these steps and to actually make the paper origami. So I want to underline here. It's nice that they've put it in bold for us, but I also want to underline these steps just so I can my eye will easily go back to them when I am going to make the origami myself. So in paragraph 1, it talks about what origami is, and origami is the art of paper folding. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. You may have had that question when we started, what is origami? Not a word that you have maybe heard, but it's the art of paper folding, and specifically making paper into something new. So remember, our essential question for this unit is, how can something old become something new? In this case, we're taking an old piece of paper and making it into a new shape. I did want to look too at paragraph 2. It talks about how we're going to create a dog's face, and that the directions are easy to follow. So the author's purpose here is to try to encourage you that you can do it, that it's not going to be too difficult. Some origami is very difficult. It can get kind of very specific and intricate, very difficult to do the little tiny folds, but this one, the author tells us it's easy to follow, so we can do it as well. I also want to draw your attention to the pictures. So when we read our text about soap shapes, there was only a picture of the finished product. We didn't have step-by-step images to help us, but in this text we do. And that is wonderful, because the pictures really help to clarify what the words are saying. And sometimes the picture makes more sense than the words themselves. But both of them together are going to really help you to understand what you're supposed to be doing. So it says to begin with a square piece of paper. I'm going to underline square, and that it needs to be 8 inches square. If you fold down, so most paper is 8 by 11, like just a normal computer paper is. If you fold your paper across into like a triangle, and then you cut off the extra top part, that will get you an 8 by 8 without having to measure. But you do also have a ruler, so you could measure where the extra 3 inches is and then cut that part off as well. But you need to start with a square, just like she shows you in step 1. And then these pictures help us to see what to do. So you're going to fold one corner over to the other. You should have a triangle. Okay, and then you're going to fold it in half again by folding the left point to the right point. So that's another piece of direction that is going to really help us. So we've got step 1, step 2, step 3. Let's keep going.
Step 4. Unfold the triangle. There will be a crease down the middle. Step 5. To make the ears, fold both corners of the triangle down at an angle. Step 6. Fold back the point at the bottom of the dog's head.
Step 4. Step 5. Step 6.
Step 7. Draw 2 eyes and a nose. Now your dog has a face. You began with a square piece of paper and transformed it into a dog's face. How amazing is that?
Step 7.
All right, so again, let's go ahead and underline our steps just to help bring those out a little bit more. Because each of those is going to be important, and as you're doing this, actually making the origami here in a minute, it's going to be helpful for you to keep track of what step you're on so that your eyes can go back up to the text after you have made your fold. So that's going to be helpful to have those. And then again, also the pictures. So like in step 5, it says fold both corners of the triangle down at an angle. That's not very specific. It doesn't tell us what size of angle, but when we look down here, since this is step 5, if we look down here at step 5, it really shows you about how far in to fold and about how much space is left up here to guide you. So this is one of those cases where the picture really helps to clarify. So it's important not to skip that. Go ahead and look down and make sure that you're doing it how they're showing you here. Same thing here, fold back the point at the bottom for the dog's head, shows you how to do that and how much to fold back. And then step 7 here shows us how to make the dog's face. It says to draw 2 eyes and a nose. And then this is the conclusion. You began with a square piece of paper and transformed it into a dog's face. That's the how does something old become something new. And in this case, our paper became an origami dog. So that was kind of fun. So what you're going to do now is actually go through these steps. Take your time. You may decorate your dog after you have finished. You can add more details to your dog if you would like. And then your assignment's going to be to upload a picture of you with your completed origami dog, just like this girl in the picture here. I want you to take a little selfie of you with your dog and upload it to schoolwork. Don't worry if you don't have white paper. Notice that she used blue paper. You don't see a ton of blue dogs, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a fun origami activity. So if you have color paper, that's fine as well. Or if you want to use white paper and then color in your dog, that would be great too. So can't wait to see your finished products.